If you watch this show regularly, you know I love me some leftovers. We did the show, I think we've done a few leftover shows. We did the one from Thanksgiving. It was like a Eggs Benedict, but with the leftovers from Thanksgiving. That was a whole ton of fun. But today, I think this might be the undisputed royalty of leftovers. And it's one of my favorite things in any Chinese takeout, fried rice. Yes, we're gonna make shrimp fried rice tonight. I got everything out on the counter. Come on over there with me and let's see what we got. Come on, let's do it. Come on, let's do it. Shrimp fried rice. I couldn't be more psyched. All right, already cleaned, shelled, cleaned, and deveined these beautiful Gulf shrimp. You know, I use them a lot. They're always in my freezer. I get these from the fish market at Adams. And then I dried them down a little. We've got cornstarch. Of course, the Chinese Zhaojing wine, indispensable for these types of dishes. Some soy sauce. The oyster sauce, which I talked about on a previous episode, and these are one of the things in the past I talked about just buying the cheapo supermarket version. This stuff is outrageous, and whereas that stuff used to sit for months and months at a time until I just threw it out, this one's almost ready to be replaced, man. I use this quite frequently. It's delicious. Sesame oil. I got 1 shallot, 2 eggs. Here's our rice. I'll get to that in a minute. We've got peas. The peas are frozen. You can use those frozen peas and carrots in a little bag. I diced up a carrot. The peas are frozen. I would have used fresh peas if they had them, but they didn't. Scallion. My peas are in the ground now. They should be popping up any day now. A little peanut oil. And here's the rice. Now, I said this is a leftover dish. This is actually not leftovers. I mean, I ate a little of this the other night, but I actually cooked it for this recipe. You definitely want 2, in this case, I think it's 3-day-old rice because you want it to dry out a little. But this is going to be perfect because it's dried out. But it's not hard yet, you know? It's still soft. I think it's going to fry up beautifully. So the first thing we're going to do, let's get our shrimp ready. We'll velvet the shrimp. So we got our shrimp, I already mentioned, cleaned, deveined, and then dried off a little. We don't want them too wet. So let's take our Zhaojing wine, add a teaspoon of that. Teaspoon of soy sauce. Just gonna give them like a 5-10 minute marinade while we get everything else ready to go. A little bit of oil. This is peanut oil. You want a neutral oil, but half a teaspoon. But full disclosure, I did fry in this the other night. So it's not completely neutral, but it was only the one fry, and I think it's going to add the perfect flavor to this. So let's mix these around. And then we're going to add, oh, it smells fantastic already. And now we're going to add 1 tablespoon of our cornstarch, and that's what I mean when they say we're going to velvet the shrimp. So we'll let them marinate in this, and that gives that nice velvety coating to the outside of the shrimp when they hit that hot wok. And yes, I'm excited. I get to use the rolled steel wok, which we introduced in, I think it was the first episode of Gadgets and Gear, Gadgets and Gear, Gadgets and Gear, Gear and Gadgets. All right, velvet the shrimp. See how shiny they look? They get a nice little coating on them. And we're just gonna set those aside. And what I'll do now is I will dice my shallot, I'll beat up my 2 eggs, and I will meet you over at the stove. Come on, let's do it.
Come on, let's do it.
Okay, let's get this fried rice going. Now, I've talked about mise en place. I don't know what the Chinese word for that is, but everything in its place, and it's super important when you're doing a stir fry like this. So I've got everything right here at hand so I can work quickly. I'm getting my hot wok screaming hot, so let's zoom in and start with a little bit of this peanut oil. Swirl that around. Okay, first thing we're going to do is take our shrimp. They've been marinating good 5-10 while we got everything else going. We're just going to cook these for a minute or two. Just get them going. They'll finish up at the end. Put them around. Oh, they smell amazing. Okay, let's get these out. They're a little pink on them. They're still underdone. Okay, now, let's go in with the shallot and our peas and carrots. Get those moving. Just want to get those shallots translucent. Only take a minute. This wok is hot, hot, hot. That's what you want. Now what we want to do is push this veg off to the side a little. And we don't want to overdo it, but we can add just a drop more oil. And we're going to put the eggs in. These were just laid today, by the way. I pulled them in when I got home from work. Fresh, fresh, fresh. Okay, now as the eggs begin to solidify, I can mix them with the veg, and we're going to go in with the rice. This beautiful long grain white rice cooked 3 nights ago, and I just kept it in the fridge, let it dry out a little. Everything moving in this hot pan. We want to really toast up our rice now and get it mixed with the egg, vegetables. I can't even describe this aroma, and we haven't even added our liquids yet. We're about to do that right now. So let's go in with the shrimp, back in. And now we're going to have another tablespoon of the Chinese cooking wine. So now we're finishing up the shrimp in here. 2 tablespoons of soy. Keep all that rice moving so each grain gets in contact with that hot wok. And now, the pièce de résistance. Tablespoon of the oyster sauce. I'm ready for another jar of this stuff. This is liquid candy. Actually semi-solid candy. Oh, that just opened up the flavors. It's filling the whole kitchen. We got some fried rice, folks. And the way we're going to finish this up, with 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. And our chopped scallion. Sliced up nice and fine. Give everything a nice toss on this heat. All right, shrimp fried rice. I'm going to turn the heat off, bowl some of this up, and I will meet you folks over by the board. Come on, let's do it.
Come on, let's do it.
Let me get another shrimp in there. See you at the board. Oh, this is one of my favorite things. I was going to do egg foo young. I cooked some of that the other night. We'll do that in an upcoming episode. Oh. Oh, man. This blows takeout away. Oh. It's as good as takeout, if not better. The Chinese rice wine is key, in my opinion, as is the oyster sauce. That little bit of sesame oil at the end. So great. And if you have leftover rice, I'm not cooking rice all that much, but I'll cook a couple of cups full just to do this. Shrimp fried rice. We'll see you for the next episode.
Come on, let's do it.
What a great dish.